Hello, everyone. I think we're live. Hi. Just type and let me know if you can hear me in the chat. Hi, guys. Welcome to my first live stream on YouTube. My name is Flora. If you've never listened to me before, I used to do these live streams on Naver. So I hope to see a couple of you guys from the Naver live streams. But yeah, I've now moved onto YouTube. So, hi guys, welcome. And I can see that Gayan is already here. Hi Gayan, how are you? Yeah, how is everyone? Let me know. How's everyone's week been? Yeah, so it's a very grey Friday morning here in the UK. It's 11 a.m. and I'm just wondering how everyone's evening is going in Korea. I think I'm going to give everyone a couple of minutes before I get properly started with today's live stream. Just give people time to come into the stream. But yes, so Guyan says, it feels so fresh to chat while seeing your face. Ah, nice. Yes, this is what I look like. I don't know, maybe you pictured how you pictured my face when you heard my voice, but this is what I actually look like. um, G says, hi Flora and everyone. Hi G, welcome. Thank you for coming to my YouTube live stream. Sun says, hi Flora. Hello, nice to meet you. And Guyan says, I'm really looking forward to this topic. Ah, thank you. Yes, I'm excited to talk about this topic as well. But yeah, just still giving people a couple of minutes to come in to the live stream before I get started. So I would love to know, how was everyone's new year? Happy Year of the Ox to everyone. I hope you had like a lovely, relaxed and fun Lunar New Year, and I'd love to know what you guys got up to. What I got up to last weekend, I didn't actually celebrate Lunar New Year, I have to say. I was planning on doing it and then I can't remember why, but I did something else instead, but I have no idea what I did. It's the thing with being in lockdown in the UK is that I keep forgetting what I've been up to. So people will ask me, oh, have you been? What have you been up to? And I honestly, for the life of me, cannot remember. Young Dan Shin says, hi Flora. Hi Young Dan Shin, welcome to the live stream. But yeah, this week, what have I been up to? It's been a lot warmer weather. I don't know if you guys remember, but I was saying how it was quite cold. It was very, very freezing last week in the UK. It was like -2 degrees, which I know compared to Korea isn't that cold at all, but for the UK it was very, very cold. But this week it's been lovely, 10 degrees. Very nice, very pleasant. So I've been trying to get out on some walks with my flatmates and all that kind of good stuff. But yes. Oh, and this weekend I'm very excited because tonight we're having a cheese and wine night. So that's going to be very fun and also makes me feel quite fancy. It's quite an adult thing to do, a cheese and wine night. So I am looking forward to it. But yes, so I guess before we get started with the topic, I'm going to let you know a little bit about how these live streams are going to work. So I don't know if any of you tune into Steph's live stream on a Tuesday, but if you don't, you definitely should because Steph is great. And her live streams are often really, really helpful and give great tips about English, using English and like vocabulary and idioms and all that kind of stuff. Whereas I thought our live streams could maybe be a little bit more about current affairs and British culture, if that is something you guys are interested in hearing about. So what I'm going to do every week is I'm going to put a poll after the live stream. So once this live stream is over, I'm going to go onto the community page of this YouTube channel and I'm going to make a poll of different topics for next week, probably about 3 topics that you can choose from. And then you guys get to vote about what we talk about because this live stream is a democracy, apparently. So yeah, I'd love to hear your thoughts or suggestions about anything you want to talk about. And then every week I would love to hear what you want to listen to, watch for the next live stream. So yeah, I'm very excited about interacting with you guys via the community section on the channel. But yes, all right. So I guess, shall we get started with today's topic? Sun says, interesting subjects you're going to do. Yes, so I will share that with you after the live stream, or maybe I'll give you a sneak peek now. I'm thinking of, I still haven't quite decided, but I'm thinking of maybe one live stream on British folk culture, because I don't know if it's super nerdy or not, but this is something that I've really been getting into in lockdown 2. I've been getting into like ancient British history. And I know I find it really interesting, but I appreciate it might not be everyone's cup of tea, but I think it will be one of the options on there among 2 others. So we'll see. We'll find out next week what we will be looking at together. So that'll be really interesting. Anyway, so today's live stream is about British TV, as you know from the title. So I would love to know who uses TV shows to study English. When I'm speaking to loads of my students, they always like to tell me about the British dramas that they're watching at the moment, and we like to have a chat about the characters and all that kind of stuff. So in the chat window, let me know who likes to use TV to learn English, and do you find it helpful, and what are the kind of pros and cons of using TV to learn English? So yeah, let me know in the box. I think there's lots of different positives for sure. I was actually writing an article about this for the Britcent blog recently. And in that article, I talked about how even if you don't fully understand everything that's being said in a TV show, because I can often people will speak really fast, or they'll use phrases that you've not heard before because they're quite colloquial and whatnot. So even if you can't understand everything that's being said in the TV show, it can still be really helpful to learn English because of something we call immersion. So immersion in a language is when you just surround yourself in a language so you get really used to it. And I think that watching TV shows is really great for that, and it can really help with your English lessons. So if you're having English lessons and you're immersing yourself in the language outside of those lessons, it will make those lessons more effective, you know what I mean? Because like it's working in the back of your brain the whole time. It's why it's easier to learn a language when you live in the country. But I suppose when you don't live in the country that speaks the language, so you're not living in America or England or New Zealand or wherever, the next best thing is to watch as much English TV as possible, films, books, podcasts, all of that kind of stuff. But yeah, so who uses TV? Let's see. Beatrice Castle says, I use TV to learn English. That's very good. Beatrice, what do you watch? Let me know in the comments. Guyan says, I always learned expressions from dramas or talk shows like Graham Norton. Oh, Guyan, that's such a good idea, actually. I've never thought about suggesting that to students, and it's not actually one of my suggestions for today, but talk shows is a really good idea to watch because there'll be loads of colloquial terms and also like current cultural things you can learn from them. So that's really good. And Sun says, British drama Line of Duty I've watched recently, but it was very difficult for me. Yes, I've seen Line of Duty. What did you think about it, Sun? Because I kind of thought, I watched the first series, I think, and I kind of thought it was very over dramatic and ridiculous, but also really hilarious. But I don't think it was trying to be hilarious, but I found like it quite funny. I don't know if that's just me, but yeah. What did you think of it? Guyan says, I think the classic is absolutely Doctor Who. Yes, that is a classic British drama that loads of my students watch. Also, it's Doctor Who or, what's the other one? Sherlock. Sherlock's really popular, I find, with loads of my students. I don't know why. Is it maybe because it's kind of quite a classic British story. So if you're like a international watching a British drama, you want something that's kind of quite stereotypical. I don't know, that's me taking a total guess. Jamie says, at first I started watching English movies to study, but these days it's more about funny things. So I guess you started watching English to study, but now you just do it for fun, which is excellent news. I love to hear that. What do you like to watch? Jihoo says, I've been watching Sick Note, which is on Netflix. What is Sick Note? I've never heard of that. Is it good? Let me know. And Michael Park says, Sherlock is one of my favourites. Yes, very classic. And Juan Lee says, hi, Flora. To be honest, I thought you were Kathy because I've just heard your voice on the podcast. Sorry. Oh my goodness. Yeah, me and Kathy, for those of you who are watching and don't know, me and Kathy have a podcast on Britcent's YouTube channels. And we also have very, very similar sounding voices. So if you don't see our faces, I think it could be confusing to know who is who. But yeah, I'm Flora. I'm that one. Good. Okay, so I think I would like to talk about what I think are my top 5 favourite British TV shows and recommend them to you guys. And maybe they can be something that you'll watch next time. So, without further ado, the first TV show that I'm going to suggest to you guys to watch is Peep Show. I don't know if any of you guys have already watched it, but I think it's probably one of the most like classic, iconic British comedy series ever. It's really, really good. It's one of my all-time favorites. I even follow like meme accounts of it on Instagram. But basically it's about 2 dysfunctional friends and flatmates. They're called Mark and Jez. And it's just essentially like the ridiculous situations they get themselves into. And both of them are quite terrible people, but for like different reasons. Like Mark is very like, what is Mark very like? I'm trying to think of a way of saying this without being a rude word. He's very like uptight. He's very uptight and also quite mean-spirited and a bit pathetic. I think the character is meant to be pathetic. And he does quite mean things, and it's always like that classic cringy British humour that I think has become very like iconic for British TV shows. I'm thinking also of things like The Office, the British Office, which is so cringy. The Office is too cringy. I can't even watch that. It just makes me like, shiver. Yeah, Peep Show is just the right amount of cringe for me. But yeah, so Mark is very like mean and kind of pathetic and kind of weedily, if that word makes sense to anyone. Whereas Jez, his friend, is very like free and spiritual and very like fluid as a person. And they kind of clash a lot, and it leads to very funny situations. So yeah, I definitely would recommend Peep Show, especially because I think it's a really good way to get into British sense of humour. I know that can be something that some students struggle with because we have a very specific sense of humour that is quite sarcastic and difficult to understand, and I think Peep Show is a great start to kind of get an insight into that sense of humour. Co Wu says, also, I'm so sorry guys if I ever pronounce your names really horribly. I'm definitely trying my best, but yeah, my British accent gets in the way. Co Wu says, I've watched British dramas with Netflix, but it's still difficult. Yes, I'm seeing a lot of comments in the chat box saying how it still can be quite difficult to watch these dramas. And I guess you just got to keep trying, I'm afraid, or keep going, and it will eventually get easier. And obviously, if you're really struggling, just whack on the subtitles for now, because even if you've got Korean subtitles, you're still listening in English, so I think it's still helping. So if you need a bit of extra support at the beginning to understand the drama, definitely worth putting on Korean subtitles. And I don't know if it's possible, but you could always do English subtitles and Korean subtitles. So then you're seeing kind of both at the same time. That could be helpful as well. All right, so viewer, Young Yuan, has actually suggested the next TV show that's on my list of top 5 British TV shows you've got to watch, and it's Fleabag. So Young says, Fleabag is my best, stunning TV show, and I have to agree. So for those of you who don't know, Fleabag is a British TV series that came out in 2016, I think. I'm not entirely sure. But so Fleabag is by actress and writer Phoebe Waller-Bridge, and it comes from her one-woman stage show that she's been doing for ages. And it's basically about this young woman who's kind of struggling with an event that's happened in her life, which I won't say what it is because it will be a massive spoiler. But she's struggling to cope with something. And it's kind of about her navigating womanhood, relationships, family, love, friendship, all these kinds of really important, quite serious topics, but the show is just so funny. It handles really serious subject matter with a lot of levity, and levity means like lightness and humour. And it's quite unique because it has this feature in the show where the main character, who we never know the name of, she's just Fleabag, will talk to the audience directly, and we call this breaking the fourth wall. So she will directly address the audience and tell you like what's going on inside her head, basically. And it's always just so funny and so well timed, and I love Phoebe Waller-Bridge so much. She's just so iconic, so funny, and just so clever, and I love it. So please, if you can, watch Fleabag. I think it's available on Amazon Prime or Hulu. I'm not sure, but it's definitely available on BBC iPlayer. But I'm aware that might not be accessible in Korea, but I think it could be available on Amazon as well if you wanted to watch that. So yeah, good suggestion, Young. I totally agree. Another user who's got a Korean name, and I forgot to say at the beginning of the stream, but if you have a Korean username, could you please type your name as you comment the first time, and then I'll remember your name, just so I can shout you out properly, because unfortunately I can't read a Korean alphabet. I wish I could, but I'm not clever enough for that. But this user says, the British drama I know is Friday Night Dinner, which is quite a classic sitcom. Even though it's an old one, it includes quite a lot of colloquia. So I guess the colloquia, I've never heard of, so I guess you mean colloquial terms, and I've never heard them being referred to as colloquia, but I do quite like it a lot. That's a fun word. But yeah, Friday Night Dinner is another classic. One of my friends really, really loves that TV show. And it's also like a really good classic British comedy series as well. So yeah, that's a good suggestion. And Beatrice says, I watch Fleabag, Normal People and Truth Seekers. Ah yes, Fleabag, another Fleabag fan. What did you think of it? Let me know in the comments. Foodie Yeah says, hello, nice to meet you, Flora. Nice to meet you, Foodie. Welcome to the live stream. And, oh, sorry, the chat went a bit crazy there for a second. And Young Ewan said, Hot Priest. Yes, the Hot Priest. Oh my God. For those of you who don't know, in Fleabag, in Fleabag season 2, there's a character who's a priest who's also hot. So he's the hot priest, and oh, I love him so much. He's great. Oh, amazing. And Young has confirmed that Fleabag is available on Amazon Prime. Thank you, Young. Foodie Yeah says, let's study Korean together. I would absolutely love to. I really want to learn Korean. I should put more time towards it. I should figure it out. Figure out a way of getting a Korean online teacher. I think that would be really fun. I do know some Korean words. This is going massively off topic, but what do I know? I know oh, I'm gonna say this wrong, so brace yourselves, and I'm very sorry. But it's like I go. um, I have a friend. I lived in Vietnam last year, and I had a Vietnamese friend who would always say it, and she said it was a Korean word, and she would always say it when she was like kind of just like sighing or tired. So I don't know if I'm using it right or not, but like instead of in the UK, we might be like, we might do that, but she would go like, I go like that. So let me know if I'm using it right. But that is a Korean phrase that I know. Jamie says, I watched a British show named Next in Fashion, like an audition program on Netflix. I have not heard of that one, but that sounds very interesting. Oh, I'm going to move on actually because I realise I've been talking for ages about Fleabag. I'm going to move on to the next TV show that to recommend. And this is actually quite an old one. So this is number 3 and it's Skins. So this was super popular when I was a teenager. And it's basically just about a group of teenagers. I think they're like in sixth form college age, which is like high school age, I think, in Korea. So they are like 16 to 18 or like 17 to 19 years old. And it's just about their lives, and it's kind of just like a classic like drama. It's quite edgy, and it was very edgy for the time because this was like surely over 10 years ago now. No, not over 10 years ago. Hang on, how am I? I'm 24 now. I was probably 14. Yeah, it was about 10 years ago when it came out. And it's got a lot of like racy subject matter in it. So there's some like drinking and other things in the TV show. So it's a little bit, a little bit raunchy. But it's really good drama. It's a really good teen drama, and it's just also quite a classic and represents kind of youth culture, I suppose, of the time in the UK. And yeah, it's just very, very good drama. I think some students may have heard of it before. But yeah, so Skins is definitely something I would recommend. And I had to put it on my like top 5 because it's just reminds me of my youth. But yeah, so number 4 is a little bit more like intelligent. And it is the David Attenborough documentaries. So this isn't like one TV show because I would probably recommend any David Attenborough documentary. But some examples would be Planet Earth, Blue Planet, and also most recently A Life on Our Planet, which is the documentary he made for Netflix recently. And yeah, it was really, really good. It was really depressing, actually. And I think it's out. I'm not sure if it's out yet or not, but me and Kathy actually did a podcast talking about this documentary. So I won't go into it too much because you can go to that video if it is out or when it comes out. And you can listen to us discussing our thoughts on the most recent documentary. But it's about like global warming and David Attenborough kind of seeing this big change in our environment and all that kind of, it's kind of depressing, but he does offer some positivity and ways we can stop global warming and the destruction of our planet at the end. But yeah, David Attenborough, for those of you who don't know, I've just realised I haven't explained who he is. But he is a ecologist. Actually, I don't know if that's the proper name for him, but he's a environment guy. He's like a very famous scientist, I guess, and documentary maker, and he makes kind of wildlife documentaries, and he's essentially like the nation's granddad. He's a bit of a national treasure and everybody loves him. So yeah, that is David Attenborough, and you should definitely check out literally anything he makes. It's so iconic. Jenny Jian Hyun Kuan. I'm so sorry about how I've just said your name. But they said, hi, Flora. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. I'm going to call you Janny if that's okay. But yeah, lovely to meet you, Janny. Gayun says, iPlayer is really necessary to watch BBC's programmes. It's really amazing. Yes, iPlayer is very necessary. I'm assuming it might not be possible for you guys to access in Korea, but maybe if you had a VPN, but I don't know if that's legal or not, so I don't know if that's a good thing for me to be suggesting to you all. But yeah, iPlayer is really amazing for accessing UK content. Young Dan Shin says, isn't there news about a new season of Fleabag? And Beatrice also says, I wish there was a season 3. And I'm afraid to disappoint, guys. I don't think that there's going to be a season 3 of Fleabag, sadly. I think Phoebe Waller-Bridge kind of alluded to it being at the end of season 2. And I just realised I was about to give a massive spoiler, so I'm going to stop talking. But yeah, I don't think there's going to be a season 3. I think it was quite like a solid ending at season 2. Jun Hyun Lee says, I started watching the British TV show Dr. Foster, and I'm kicking it off nicely. Ah, yes, Dr. Foster. Yeah, that's a really popular one. I actually have never watched it, but I hear from my colleagues and also my students that Dr. Foster is like super popular British TV show in Korea. And I wonder why. Could you guys give me any insight as to why it was so popular, or why you guys liked it so much? If you did like it, that is. Jihoo says, hi, it's great to meet you. I've been studying English with Emma from Britcent, and I'm here to listen to your stream. Welcome, Jihoo. I'm glad, I hope you're enjoying your lessons with Emma. And yeah, welcome to the live stream. Lovely to meet you. Siwoo asks, what is a posh British accent? That's an interesting question. What is a posh British accent? I mean, some people would say my accent is quite posh. I speak with what we call received pronunciation, which means like the Queen's English, I suppose. It's the accent that you would find on the BBC and on TV often. But British accents can get even posher than mine. And if you want to hear the poshest British accent, then you just need to find a video of someone from the royal family talking, to be honest. I think that's the best way to hear the poshest British accent, because it's not going to get posher than the Queen. Janny says, yes, I use Express VPN to watch British programmes. There we go. What a good solution. I really want to get Express VPN. It seems very helpful. And Guyan asks, do you watch The Crown, which is about the British royal family? It really moved me. It's a really great Netflix British series. I have watched some of The Crown, Guyan, but not all of it. I'm not actually that interested in the British royal family, to be honest. I think that the royal family is something that's more interesting often to people that aren't from England or aren't from the UK rather than British people, which is quite interesting. They've become almost like a gimmick, haven't they? They're like a tourist thing. I could really take them or leave them, to be honest, which means I don't have very strong feelings about them. But I did watch some of The Crown. I really like a lot of the people that are in the TV series. I think they're really, really great actors, like Olivia Colman. Oh my goodness, I love Olivia Colman so much. And she plays the Queen in the more recent series. I also really love Helena Bonham Carter, who plays the Queen's sister in the more recent series. So yeah, both those actresses are just amazing, and I did watch some of it and I did enjoy it, but the pace was a little bit slow for me, so it kind of didn't keep my attention as much. But I think I just have a really bad attention span. All right, I'm moving on to the last TV show, because I'm aware that the time is absolutely flying and I want to make sure that we have enough time. Oh, we need to make sure we have enough time to learn the vocabulary so that we can do the mini quiz. So my last TV series I'm recommending is Come Dine With Me, which is a British TV series where people there's like, I think it's like 5 contestants, and each week they'll have each other around their house and they'll make a dinner party, and then people will rate the dinner party. And it doesn't sound like much, but it's so funny. Just usually the people that they pick to be on the TV series are like absolute characters, and they're all real people. So this is a reality TV show, and there's usually like conflicts and fights, and it's just so funny. And it's also just a way, it's quite intimate in a way, because you get to see like normal British people inside their homes. And yeah, it's just a very funny TV series. And the guy that does the voiceover does a very like sarcastic, funny voiceover for what's happening in the series. Foodie asks a good question, and it's, what's the difference between dramas and TV shows? I don't think there is one. So I actually never used to say the word drama or be like, oh, I'm watching a new drama. That's actually not common British vocabulary. We usually say TV programs, and we only call TV shows dramas when they're in the genre of a drama. For example, The Crown is a drama because it's quite serious and dramatic and emotional, whereas Peep Show is not a drama because it's a comedy or a sitcom. So drama in the UK means like a genre of TV, whereas correct me if I'm wrong, but I think for Korean people, drama just kind of means any TV show, because often my students will say like, oh, I've been watching this new drama recently, and it's actually like a comedy series. I can see G has just popped into the live chat. Hello, G. They just say hi. Hi, G. Welcome back. Lovely to see you over here on YouTube. Good. All right. So I think we should move on to the vocabulary, to me teaching you some vocabulary for you guys to use when talking about TV shows. So we're running low on time, so I'm just double checking what you need to know in order to do the mini quiz, which we'll hopefully have time for. So I think, okay, we need those two, we need that, we need a lot of things. We're going to try to do it all. We'll see how far we get. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is some basic nouns. So the first one is this. So can you guys tell me what this word means? Hopefully you can see it. So what does this word mean? It says episodes. What are episodes? Sorry. And the next one is, so I'm just going to give you guys a little bit of time because I think there's a slight time delay on the live stream. So I'm just giving you some time to answer in the chat box. But the next word is series. So what is should do it in the singular really, shouldn't I? What is an episode and what is a series? Let me know in the comments. G has answered. Thank you, G. So G says an episode is each story. Good. Yeah, you are correct. So it's like just an episode is like one instance of the TV show. So if that's an episode, what is the series? Janny says a series is a group of episodes. Yes, that's such a good definition, Janny. Well done. That's perfect. I don't think I could have said it more clearly, so well done. Foodier says, where's Sue been? And English is my destiny. What a good question. I have no idea. So for those of you, for any new viewers, Subin and English is My Destiny are some, I was going to say locals, but that doesn't make sense. They are some, what's the word when people come back? They're some fans, I guess, is what I can say. But yeah, I don't know where they are. We'll have to find out, won't we? Hopefully they'll be here next week. We can let them know that we missed them. Okay, anyway, moving on. So the next section for vocabulary that I want to talk about is genres. So a genre is like a theme or a type of TV show. You can also get genres of film and music. But what are some genres of TV shows that you guys like to watch? Let me know in the comments. So I'm going to write down some on my whiteboard that you're going to need for the quiz. I really hope we have time for the quiz. Maybe I'll make our live stream extra long so we can do the quiz. Am I allowed to do that? Is it up to me? I'm not sure. Okay. So I'm just going to write down some classics. Someone said rom-com. That's an excellent one. Rom-com. Good. Comedy. That's a good one. Someone said comedy. What else has someone said? Oh, Young has asked an interesting question that's about the last vocab, but they've said, is it episode, series, season? And no, it's basically episode or series / season. So season and series, I think, is the same thing. It's just either American or British English. In British English, we say series, and I think Americans say season. And I do think that American series go on for longer. And I don't know if that makes them a season or if that's a difference. I'm not sure. Someone says action. That's a really good genre. Well done. Action. I'm going to put that down on my whiteboard. What else have I got here? Okay, and then this one I'm going to do. So I'm just going to go over a couple with you that I think are more unusual. So you've got classic genres such as romance, comedy, drama, horror. Sun has said thriller. That's also a good one. But here are the ones that I've written down. So these are just 5. So the first one, I'm going to try and get it so I can see the screen as well. So the first one I've got down is rom-com, which someone has suggested. And rom-com stands for romantic comedy. So these were very classic, especially in the 1990s and like the 2000s. So it's basically just like light-hearted, silly films about relationships, but they're also comedies, basically. A good example would be maybe When Harry Met Sally, but I don't know if that's just romance. I think that could be a rom-com, When Harry Met Sally. Also maybe There's Something About Mary, which has got Ben Stiller in it, and that's a classic rom-com. There was loads of rom-coms in the 2000s. I'm not sure why, but yeah, that's a rom-com. The next one is true crime, which is, I think, gotten more popular over recent years. And that is TV shows and films that are about crimes that actually happened. So real life crimes. So these are often like documentaries as well. So I know there's a recent Netflix documentary, which I have not watched and I won't watch because I'm easily scared, about the Yorkshire Ripper. So who was a very famous serial killer in England. So that is an example of a true crime show. I'm going to skip over action because I think you guys will understand that one and go to docuseries. So a docuseries is basically a documentary series. So instead of it just being one documentary film, it will be a whole series about a topic. An example that's coming to mind, and my favourite docuseries, is the Ken Burns Vietnam War documentary series. It's so good. Each episode is like an hour and a half long, so it's very long, takes a very long time to watch, but it's includes everything. It's just the scope is amazing. It's so detailed. I think it's a really great TV series. But yeah, so basically a series of documentaries that are all related together is a docuseries. And the last one is a black comedy. So black comedy is actually very typical British genre, and it's basically like comedy that's kind of dark. Like you might describe Fleabag as black comedy or dark comedy, because it's like it's about very serious and dark topics. For example, like death does come into it, but it's handled in a way that's funny. So it's basically comedy, but about like darker topics is a dark comedy or a black comedy. So 501 Gaming says, does noir count as a genre? And I wish that I was knowledgeable enough to know about noir, but I think it does. But I'm a bit ignorant when it comes to like art films. Good, I can see. Foodie Yeah says sci-fi. That's a great one. Sci-fi is science fiction. So like Star Wars is the classic sci-fi example. Good. And Beatrice recommends Chernobyl as a good docuseries. Very good. Good. Okay, so moving on. I'm now gonna teach you some phrases about how to talk about watching TV. So the first two phrases that I'm going to teach you are a must see. So this is an adjective. And to binge watch, which is a verb. To binge watch. I'm going to have to work on my whiteboard writing skills. Okay, so the first one, a must see. And this is a way to describe a TV show that you think someone has to watch, like they should watch it. It's a really good TV show. For example, in this title, the title of this live stream is 5 British TV shows you need to watch. And I could change this title to 5 must-see British TV shows. So it simply means, 5 just TV shows that you should watch and that they're really, really good and you shouldn't miss them and they're amazing. That's what a must-see is. And the next word is to binge watch. And this is, I think, quite a recent vocabulary, and it's when you just watch loads and loads of a TV show in one go. So this comes from the term binge drinking or binge eating, which is where people drink a lot of alcohol or eat a lot of food in one go. And it's kind of been appropriated and taken in the context of watching TV. Because I think in recent years, with the rise of private streaming services such as Netflix, it's been, people are more able to watch a whole series in one go. Whereas in the past, you'd have to wait every week for it to be aired on TV. So with streaming services, people now have the freedom to, if they want to, watch literally all of it in one go. So yeah, when you watch that TV series in one evening, you are binge watching. Good. Okay, so the next one, or the next couple of phrases, or the next phrase I'm going to teach you is, those were 2 positive ones, I guess, and this next one's negative. And I can just see that G has said, to binge watch, I will watch a TV show all day from episode 1 to episode 10 today. Yes, exactly, G. That's exactly what binge watching is. Well done. Okay, so this next adjective is a snooze fest, which I don't actually know how often people use this word, but it came to my mind when I was planning this live stream. So this is an adjective, and actually I would love to hear what you guys think this adjective means. So what do you think a snooze fest is? Let me know in the comments before I say. So what is it to snooze? Can you make any guesses? What action is snoozing describing? Anyone? Yeah, Gayan's come through and she said boring. Yes, exactly. A snooze fest means boring because to snooze is to sleep. And so if something is a snooze fest, it means it makes you fall asleep because it's so boring. So yeah, if you're watching a TV series and it's really, really boring and it makes you feel sleepy, it is a snooze fest. All right. I'm now going to teach you a couple of idioms. And then I think we're running out of time, but I think I might do the quiz anyway. Just because I feel like being kind and giving you guys extra time. So the idioms I'm going to teach you are... I'm just going to teach you 2 idioms. So actually, I'm just going to teach you 1 idiom and then we're going to move on to the quiz. So this is a phrase you might have heard before. It uses a kind of a more American word, but it is couch potato. So what is a couch potato? What do you guys think? Can you guess in the comments? What do you think a couch potato means? G says snooze fest. I've never heard this before. Well, I'm glad. That means you've learned something new from the live stream, which is excellent. So what is a couch potato? Someone has guessed French fries, and that's not quite right. And Xiao Wu says it's a lazy person. Yes, exactly. Gayun says a person who watches TV all day. Exactly, that is it. So a couch potato is someone who, lies on their sofa all day watching TV. So often, I guess, couch potatoes will binge watch. So there we go, 2 vocabs. Good. Okay. I'm sorry for moving the pace on quite quickly, but I just want to have time to do a mini quiz today at the end of the lesson. So it's only going to be 3 questions, I think. And the way that this mini quiz is going to work is I will write 3 words down on my whiteboard. And I want you guys to select which word is the odd one out. So which word is not like the other words. Okay. Any questions before we get started? And I'm just going to write down my first question on my whiteboard. So to give you guys some time to ask any questions before we begin the quiz. Ooh, I wrote that really ugly. There we go. Okay. We're all ready? Good. Okay, Aiden says you're all ready, so I'm going to take Aiden's word for it. All right, so the first 3 words are must see, binge watch, snooze fest. Must see, binge watch, snooze fest. So which one of these is the odd one out? So to do this, you've got to figure out what makes these words similar and what the connection is. I've got a couple of guesses so far. I'm going to give you guys 1 more minute. Okay, I think everyone's got it. Well done, Donghan. Also, thank you for saying your name, Donghang. Very helpful for me. Sin's got it. Aiden's got it. Oh, Beatrice made a good point. So actually, I think that there's 2 ways that you can answer this question and be right. Young's got it. Siowoo's got it. Okay, well done, guys. Really good. So, originally, I thought snooze fest is the odd one out because it is the negative one. It's boring. When something is a must-see, then you want to binge watch it. However, Beatrice has pointed out something which means that I'm also going to give her a point in my head. You could also say that the odd one out is to binge watch because this is a verb, whereas these 2 are adjectives. So, kind of everyone's right. Good job. Well done, guys. Okay. Are we ready for number 2? So number 2, we have got this one, this one, and this one. Okay, number 2. Aiden asks, what is the adjective of binge watch? And there is not one. It's only a verb. It's just an action. So there's no adjective version. Okay, so the next word series is thriller, true crime, rom-com. So which one is the odd one out? Thriller, true crime, rom-com. And whilst you're guessing, I want to apologise for my embarrassing handwriting. Some people have got it. Well done, Beatrice. Well done, Sun. Yeah, Donghang's got it. Taejin, Young's got it. Wow, you guys are so clever. You're so quick as well. Well done. Anyone else want to answer before I reveal? Yep. Well done, Siowoo. Well done, Aiden. Good job, guys. So I just realised I started rubbing it off before revealing the answer. Sorry. The answer is rom-com. Everyone has got it correct. Yes. So thriller and true crime can often be connected. They're quite similar genres, whereas rom-com is very, very different. So yeah, good job, guys. Well done. The odd one out is rom-com. Okay. Sin says clever all. Yes, you guys are all very clever. Well done. All right. The last one is couch, potato, docuseries, and I've made this one too obvious, and sci-fi. So, I'm spelling it wrong as well. Couch, potato, docuseries, sci-fi. Which one is the odd one out? I'll keep this up actually. Aiden says, cheers, I'm fully enjoying this mini quiz. I'm glad, Aiden. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Me too. So what's the odd one out? Couch potato, docuseries, or sci-fi? Donghan's got it. Beatrice has got it. Young Dan's got it. Aiden's got it. Sun. Wow, you guys are so quick. Well done, Young. Well done, Taejin. Well done, Siowoo. Nice. You've all got it. Excellent. Good job, guys. So I think this one was slightly obvious, but obviously the odd one out is couch potato, because these are two TV genres and this is a TV idiom. So there we go. Okay, well done. All right, that's the end of the mini quiz. Congratulations, everyone. I think everyone got pretty much all of them correct. So really good job. You're all very clever and very quick as well. But yeah, I really enjoyed this first YouTube live stream and I look forward to seeing you guys all again next Friday. So keep an eye out later today in the community page of the Britcent English YouTube channel, because I will be posting a poll for you guys to vote for the next topic for next week's live stream. So I'll give you 3 options to choose from. And yeah, if you can vote, and then you get to decide what we talk about. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this TV lesson. And I look forward to speaking to you guys next week, same time, same place. Siawu says, thanks, teacher. Thank you, Siawu. And thank you, everyone, for taking part in the chat. I really appreciate it. So yeah. All right. Have a lovely weekend, guys. Bye.